Hello and welcome to the World News. For today's top stories, I'm Randolf Jamias. In today's stories, Cuban leader Raul Castro pledged on Saturday to further develop the relations between his country and China when meeting with a senior official of the Communist Party of China. Castro said the Congress has set a blueprint for China's future development. Cuba is willing to learn the experience of China on development and elevate the Cuba-China ties to a higher level. The new CPC leadership, with Xi Jinping as its general secretary, values the traditional friendship between the two countries and committed in developing friendly cooperation. Moving now to Europe, work has started on a major natural gas pipeline that critics said will deepen Europe's dependence on Russian gas. President Vladimir Putin was on hand as Gazprom began digging for the South Stream pipeline. Europe already receives 40% of its natural gas from Russia, and the South Stream line will add to that supply.
It's a victory for Russian President Vladimir Putin and Gazprom chief executive Alexei Miller. They looked on as the first segments were welded together in western Siberia. It is 3 weeks since Bulgaria gave the go-ahead for the project, the last transit country to do so.
This project has the political support of all partner countries. All have signed the contracts and taken their investment decisions. The pipeline will move huge amounts of gas, 63 billion cubic meters.
South Stream is due to be finished in 2019. It will run from the Black Sea and pass through Serbia, Hungary, and Slovenia to Italy and bypass the current transit country, Ukraine. Moscow has argued with Kiev over fees and gas prices for years, a feud that's often cut off gas supplies to Western Europe.
South Stream could soon make Ukraine much more willing to compromise. Kiev could even agree to some form of Russian involvement in its pipeline system and its modernization.
The launch of South Stream gives it a head start over the Nabucco pipeline project. This is supposed to reduce the EU's dependence on Russia and feed in gas from Central Asia. But a decision on the future of Nabucco is not expected until 2013.
Meanwhile, in Japan, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries unveiled their latest robot, which can operate under hostile conditions on Thursday in an attempt to replace humans who cannot enter the leaking Fukushima Daiichi power plant to carry out repairs due to extreme levels of radiation. The 440-kilogram crawler robot, called Meister, is armed with 2 sets of arm-mounted tools suited for different missions. The robot can bore a hole of the 70 millimeters in a concrete wall and extract a sample to test the degree of radiation that has penetrated the wall. Its 7-axis manipulator arm can fit into tiny spaces to shut or open valves and doors, a necessary task in leaking nuclear reactor. The Meister, which stands for Maintenance Equipment Integrated System Telecontrol robot, has a top speed of 2 kilometers per hour, can carry up to 15 kilograms of equipment, and can last for 2 hours on batteries. Also in Japan, one flock of penguins at the Japanese aquarium south of Tokyo is looking to replace Santa's elves as his helpers on Saturday. The penguins at Yokohama's Hakejima Sea Paradise Aquarium perform a daily penguin Christmas parade, which sees the group of 6 Cape penguins don their finest winter clothes and parade in front of delighted visitors. After managing to finally get around to their destination, visitors are then allowed to touch the penguins and even take pictures with them in front of Merry Christmas sign. The penguins will be working as Santa's helpers until Christmas, with daily parades and lighting ceremonies on the weekend. In entertainment news, what was your favorite European movie of 2012? With the Bond series celebrating its 50th anniversary, Skyfall ranks highest in box office sales, but other European films were also widely recognized. So let's take a look back at some of this year's memorable movies.
The premiere of the latest Bond film, Skyfall, at the Royal Albert Hall in London was one of the glitziest events of the year. The leading man was on hand, and even he was impressed by the extravaganza.
The premiere here tonight is it's kind of insane. I mean, I've been to a few big premieres, but this I think tops them all.
In his third outing as James Bond, Daniel Craig performed some of his own stunts. 3 months of training went into this one. In early 2012, the bittersweet French comedy The Intouchables took off at the European box office. It enjoyed major popularity in Italy and Spain, but ended up being a surprise box office smash in Germany with some 9 million viewers.
Germans like to watch German films, Italians like Italian films, and so on. Movies made in Europe rarely cross borders, so in this respect, the French one was a happy exception to the rule.
A German film that enjoyed success across the border was Barbara, which attracted some 300,000 cinema-goers in France, as well as acclaim in Britain. Director Christian Petzold won a Silver Bear for it at the Berlin Film Festival. Other films that had European audiences talking in 2012 included Paradise Faith, which won Austrian director Ulrich Seidel a jury prize at the Venice Film Festival. In Cannes, Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen clinched the Best Actor prize for his role in The Hunt, directed by Thomas Vinterberg. He gave a moving portrayal of a man wrongly accused of molesting children. Amour was another unsettling film. The latest work by Austrian director Michael Haneke scooped up 4 European Film Awards. It's the story of 2 retired Parisian music teachers coping after one of them suffers a stroke. It's not all art house either. This year saw French stars of the silver screen Catherine Deneuve and Gérard Depardieu make a film that was sheer entertainment. The 4th Asterix and Obelix movie. This time round, they're in Britain.
It was great fun to play the Queen. It's fun to be someone powerful, someone everyone obeys, with a crown, dogs, and a small bell that you ring and then everyone jumps to their feet. It was very enjoyable.
Asterix and Obelix in Britain, a family movie and a pretty expensive production. The most expensive German-produced film of the year was Cloud Atlas, which cost 77 million euros. German director Tom Tykwer joined forces with U.S. directors Lana and Andy Wachowski to make this ambitious adaptation of David Mitchell's book. All in all, 2012 was a good year for European cinema.
Now let's head to Russia. The city of Vladivostok has hosted the first traditional Japanese sumo tournament in the far east of the country. Let's take a look.
100 amateur sumo wrestlers aged between 9 and 25 took part in the event held on Saturday. The participants competed in 7 categories, ranging from 70 kilograms to open weight classes. The competition was organized by a newly founded sumo association in Russia's Far East. The association says sumo is becoming popular in Russia, and more than 10,000 people now wrestle across the country. In the open weight class, a former Russian martial arts sambo wrestler won the title.
Anybody can challenge sumo. Speed, power, and split-second victory are the main attraction of it.
Japan's professional sumo wrestlers will display their techniques in Moscow in June for the first time in 48 years.
And in golf, teammates Kenny Perry and Sean O'Hare combined their second round 61 Saturday to move into the lead at the Franklin Templeton Shootout in Naples, Florida. Using the best ball format, Perry and O'Hare birdied the final 6 holes to finish at 19 under, 2 strokes better than first-round leaders Brant Snedeker and Davis Love III. The final day of the 3-round tournament will be played in a scramble format. That ends the first half of the stories. Don't go away. We'll be back for more.